This camera is old enough that some YouTube channels would call it vintage. And according to the internet, I should have stopped using it years ago. The problem is, nobody told my clients. So while the comment section debates sensor specs, frame rates, codecs, and whatever new camera launched this week, this little Sony A6400 keeps showing up to paid shoots. Now don't get me wrong, I own newer cameras with better specs, better video features, and a lot more technology packed inside them. But somehow, this camera still manages to earn its place in my kit. So today, I'm going to build my full client rig around the A6400 and explain exactly why I still use it in 2026. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to decide for yourself if it's still worth using today. Let's start building. First up, the cage. Because if there's one thing filmmakers love doing, it's buying a small camera and immediately making it bigger. The cage protects the camera, gives me mounting points everywhere, and basically turns the A6400 into a platform instead of just a camera body. Without it, half of the accessories I'm about to add would have nowhere to live. Think of this as the foundation of the build. Next is the EF adapter. One reason I still use this camera is because of lenses. A lot of people get obsessed with camera bodies, but lenses are usually the longer-term investment. I've got EF lenses that I know, trust, and have used for years. And the ability to keep using those lenses on the A6400 is a huge advantage. Honestly, some of these lenses have outlived multiple camera bodies, and they're still producing great images. Now we put the lens on, and suddenly things starts getting serious. Well, slightly serious. At this point, it still looks like a tiny mirrorless camera, but that's actually one of the reasons I like it. The A6400 is small, light, easy to carry, and it doesn't attract attention the way a massive cinema camera does. Sometimes that's exactly what I want. Next is the top handle. Officially, it's for low-angle shots and easier carrying. Unofficially, it makes me feel like I'm shooting the Netflix documentary. It's one of those accessories that sounds simple, but makes a huge difference once you've used it for a while, especially when you're moving quickly between setups. Now we're adding an HDMI adapter. And if you've ever used a micro HDMI port, you already know why. The micro HDMI on the A6400 works, but it always feels like you're one accidental cable tug away from sadness. This adapter gives me a much more secure connection, which is important because later we're going to be running wireless video and I need that signal to stay solid. By the way, while you watch me rigging this camera, if you enjoyed this video and like content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel and lets you see more videos like this in the future. Now going back. Now for the rails. This is where the camera begins its transformation. We're moving from camera setup into camera rig. The rails become the backbone for everything that's coming next. Power, focus system, accessories, all of it. Underneath it, I'm adding a quick release mount because life's too short to spend 5 minutes attaching a camera to a tripod. This lets me move quickly between handheld and tripod work. Anything that saves time on set is worth having. Next is the support bracket, partly for balance, partly so the rig can stand on its own, and partly because every camera rig needs at least one part that makes people ask, what's that thing for? And the answer is usually, honestly, several things. I just need to properly adjust everything to make sure that the monitor of the camera still can be moved and flipped out. Well, I think it does. So, let's see. It really looks cool. Just want to make sure that everything is seated and locked properly. Now, these two metals are supposed to be mounted on the rod rails, but I put it on the rod as feet for the camera. Others may say that this is not the purpose of these metals, but I don't care. That's how flexible this system is. Now we add the V-mount battery holder, and this is probably one of the biggest reasons for the entire rig power, because the biggest limitation of many small cameras isn't image quality, it's runtime. Client shoots don't care if your battery is running low. Interviews don't stop, even don't pause. A V-mount battery lets me power everything from one source and shoot much longer without interruptions. And that's huge. Now we're adding the wireless focus system, and this is from SmallRig. And before somebody says it, yes, the autofocus on the A6400 is still really good. Actually, that's another reason this camera remains relevant. Sony absolutely nailed autofocus with this thing, but there are times when I want complete control. Product shots, commercial work, focus transitions. That's where a wireless focus system becomes incredibly useful. Plus, motorized focus is just cool. Next is my custom 3D printed NATO rail mount. One thing I love about filmmaking is that every rig eventually becomes personal. After enough shoots, you start building little solutions to very specific problems. This is one of mine. And yes, I probably spent more time designing it than I should have, but it gets the job done. This will serve as the NATO rail where I will mount this SmallRig wireless focus puller. The good thing about this is this will be very efficient for me or whoever will be the camera operator, because I can either remove this or just attach it to the camera rig itself. Next up is the monitor. This is one of the biggest quality of life upgrades on the entire build. The built-in screen works, but a larger monitor makes everything easier. Framing, focus, exposure, monitoring. And here's something that always surprises me. Every time I see footage from an A6400 on a large display, I'm reminded how good it still looks. Which brings us back to the question, is the A6400 still worth it in 2026? For image quality alone, I think it absolutely still holds up. Now we mount the wireless transmitter. This lets directors, assistants, clients, or anyone else see the camera feed without gathering around the camera like we're telling ghost stories. For client work, this is incredibly useful. People can exactly see what's happening in real time, and that makes collaboration much easier. Now we connect everything, HDMI from the camera into the transmitter, transmitter connected into the monitoring setup, and then comes the part where every filmmaker loves, cable management. Cable management, which is basically adult puzzle solving. Not exciting, but very necessary. Next, the dummy battery. This allows the camera to pull power from these V-mount system. No more constantly checking battery levels, no more interruptions, just continuous shooting. And honestly, once external power is handled, a lot of traditional complaints about older mirrorless cameras become much less important. Now we connect the power to the monitor and focus motor. Everything starts coming together. And at this point, we're no longer dealing with separate accessories. We're dealing with a complete shooting system. Every component solves a problem, and that's really the philosophy behind this rig. Not adding gear for the sake of adding gear. Adding gear because it improves the shooting experience. And finally, the V-mount battery, the heart of the entire setup. Power on, everything works, nothing explodes, and just like that, the A6400 is ready for client work. So, is the Sony A6400 still worth it in 2026? I think the answer depends on what you're looking for. If you're chasing the newest features, there are better options. Newer cameras have obvious advantages, but that's not really why I still use this camera. I use it because it's reliable, because the autofocus still excellent, because the image quality still looks good, because it's lightweight, because I know exactly how it behaves, and because after all these years, it continues to deliver results. The funny thing about camera gear is that technology gets old faster than good images do, and the A6400 is proof of that. It's not the newest camera I own, it's not the most advanced camera I own, but even in 2026, it continues to earn its place in my kit. And honestly, that's probably the best compliment I can give any camera.